Welcome everyone, my name is Rigel and today I'm going to attempt to predict the results of the World Cup 2026 4 months out from the competition. Now, this is from someone who had zero ball knowledge prior to about October last year, but now I've watched the playoffs. Not the playoffs, the qualifiers, some of them. I've also watched the entirety of the AFCON, so maybe I could make some sort of 3,000 ball IQ prediction, or maybe not. I might just be talking on my ass, but here we are anyway. We are on the official FIFA website. I'm going to leave the link to this in the description so you can do it yourself as well. It's called the bracket challenge. So let's get into it. At first we have this. There are other things out there for you to predict the brackets and to predict the groups, and you could go like match by match, but I really do not have enough ball IQ or ball knowledge for that, and I fear that if I went match by match I wouldn't get the overall group result that I was looking for. So I'm gonna just go group by group and go for the general ranking of the groups. So I think for Group A, I don't even remember what I predicted from my initial World Cup group draw reaction video, so I'm just gonna do it all over again. I think Mexico is gonna top the group, and then followed by this is the first group and I'm already struggling like this, but I do think Mexico is actually going to top it. It's looking good for them personally, in my opinion. In second place, I would put goodness, who do I group here? Basically, who do I have not advancing to the next round? No, this is difficult. Okay, I think for now I'm gonna go Korea, second place. You know what? No, scratch that. I think South Africa second, the playoff team third, and then Korea gets grouped. I don't know why. I just feel like that might happen. I think that's also what I predicted in my World Cup draw reaction video. Let's move on to Group B. Switzerland is topping it 100%. If they don't, you can come back to this video and laugh at me. Canada probably gets second, in my opinion, because host advantages, if you will, and they have some good ballers as well, like Alphonso Davies and Promise David, is that his name? I can't remember. They have some ballers, and they're playing on home soil, so I think they'll be doing just fine. And then after that, I'm going to put the playoff team, which at this point I only see being either Italy or Wales, and this is not a very good Italy, let's just be honest. So I don't see them getting better than third place, even if it is Italy. And Wales, I just see them perfectly slotting into third place. And Qatar, well, I already talked about this, but they qualified for the World Cup with Akram Afif and the Dream. So, yeah, let's move on to Group C. I've already said this before, but I absolutely see Morocco topping in the group. And then Brazil, and then Scotland, and then Haiti. This is more straightforward than I think I might have put it in my previous video, but yeah, basically my reasoning for this is that I think head-to-head Morocco and Brazil are either going to draw, or Morocco is going to come out on top. Haiti, thank you for coming to the World Cup, but I don't think they're going to do particularly well. They might at best get 1 point, I think. Scotland, I think, could shock one of the top two, but not both. And that will give them enough points to qualify for the next round from from here, but they won't be able to get top 2 in the group. So that's my kind of reasoning for this. For Group D, ooh, it really depends on who the playoff team is. I think in the previous video I said it was going to be Kosovo, but for the sake of no reason whatsoever, let's go for Turkey. So let's say that's Turkey. In which case, I will go Paraguay first, USA second, Turkey third, and then Australia last. My understanding is that Australia is just not playing very offensive football, and they defend well for sure, but they don't score enough goals to make it matter. Really, it's my understanding. I could be wrong. I don't follow Asian football too much. So let's move on to Group E, where we have these 4 countries, of course: Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. I also see this as increasingly straightforward. I think Cote d'Ivoire has now the firepower to be actually scoring goals in addition to being defensively solid, whereas Ecuador is just defensively solid, and they can't score goals for the life of them. So I think Cote d'Ivoire is going to have the edge over Ecuador in that sense. Germany will top the group, but it will be a very uncomfortable one. I think they might just beat Cote d'Ivoire on goal difference, and Curacao, again, like Haiti, thank you for coming to the World Cup, but I think this is not a very friendly group for them, unlike, say, Group G, for example. So before we get to Group G, let's get to Group F, where I think Japan is going to top it, and then Netherlands, and then the playoff team, which I'm going to predict is Poland, and then Tunisia. To quote Deadball TV, sell all of your stock in Tunisia right now. They're just not playing great at all, and they cannot score a goal for the life of them. So yeah, I do not envision Tunisia doing particularly well. They've already also fired their coach, I believe, immediately after the AFCON, after losing to, was it Senegal? I can't remember, but they wait, hold on. I can't remember. Did they lose to Mali? Yeah, they did. They did, actually. They lost to Mali, and then after which they pretty much immediately sacked their coach. So yeah, I would not put any stock in Tunisia at this point in time. Poland, I think, will do well against the Netherlands, but they might not do well enough against Japan to make a difference. In the Netherlands, I don't think they're that good of a European side, I'll be honest. Like, of the top sides of the European sides, they're not a top side, if that makes sense. They're nowhere near the likes of England or Spain or France. They are good, don't get me wrong, but I think Japan has what it takes to top them, essentially. So let's move now to Group G, where this is challenging, dude. It seems like it is a group of life, absolutely. But also I don't really understand what the term group of life means, as opposed to group of death. Like, if both terms mean that any team can qualify and any team can get grouped, then what's the difference between a group of death and a group of life, right? So I don't really know. If you do, let me know in the comments. But this is Group G. I am so tempted to have Iran top the group, you guys. For no particular political reason. It's just I feel like they have what it takes to get the highest points out of anyone in the group, because this is not a particularly good Belgian side. Okay, I'm going to go Iran and then Belgium. And then here is where it gets ugly. I don't know if I want to see Mo Salah and Omar Marmoush get grouped. and New Zealand qualifies for the knockouts? Or do I put Egypt? I think I'm going to put Egypt for the time being, but I could absolutely see New Zealand shocking people and winning one of these matches. But let's move on to Group H. Spain is absolutely topping it, no question. Yeah, actually, I think it's pretty straightforward from here. Well, depends on who you ask, I suppose. But at this point in time, I do favor Cape Verde's chances against Saudi Arabia. Of course, Saudi Arabia could beat Cape Verde. Who knows? But at this point in time, I would favor Cape Verde over Saudi Arabia. You know, they're not. Saudi Arabia are not a terrible side, mind you. But Cape Verde did recently beat Egypt and Iran. I think, or was that Uzbekistan? I can't remember. But Cape Verde did beat. I think Egypt it was, definitely. I can't remember if they beat Iran or not, but you know, they are a competent side, and I think if you can I think they barely lost to Iran on penalties. If you barely lose to Iran on penalties, and Iran is definitely a better team than Saudi Arabia, so what says that Cape Verde can't beat Saudi Arabia, right? So I think I would favor them over Saudi Arabia, but again, you know, I could be wrong. I mean, last World Cup, Saudi Arabia literally beat Argentina, for God's sake. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna put for now. Let's move on to Group I. I've been a Norway stan for quite a while now. I kind of have to back them to top the group. Whew. Do I put Senegal? I think I put Senegal. They've just been on a roll, really. Their football is not pretty, per se, but my God, some of the goals they score. And France are just not scoring that many goals. Even in World Cup qualifying, they drew with Iceland, for God's sake. You know, I think on goal difference alone, Senegal could excel versus France. So, and yeah, the playoff team, I don't really even have to mention. Like Deadball TV said, they are the intercontinental lamb to the slaughter. Although personally, for the sake of having them there, I would still like to see Suriname at a World Cup. You know, imagine Surinamese players playing against Mbappe, playing against Sadio Mane, playing against Holland. Dude, that's gonna be crazy. It's not gonna be pretty for Suriname if they do qualify for the World Cup, but it wouldn't be pretty for any of the other teams either. So, you know, let's move on to Group J, where Argentina are 100,000,000% times chance qualifying, or rather topping the group. And here I think I'm gonna go slightly controversial. I do not see Austria. You know what? I don't know. I think these are interchangeable, but I do not think either Austria or Jordan are going to make the knockouts, because Austria, again, I talked about this in my previous video, but they had to battle against Bosnia on the last day of qualifying just to scrape their way here. And they're not a particularly, you know, inspiring side when it comes to actually scoring goals, as opposed to just defending. So, you know, I think Algeria has dropped a little bit in my estimates. They aren't that good, but they're still relatively okay, I would say, in terms of African football. They got smacked by Nigeria, but Nigeria is probably, well, they literally are now the best team by FIFA ranking that isn't at the World Cup. They actually surpassed Russia. Fun fact, if you check the recent update in the FIFA rankings, they actually surpassed Russia to become the highest ranked national team that is not going to the World Cup. So, they got beaten by Nigeria. There's no shame in that, I think. but they're still a pretty solid team. They just need to have some proper ballers, some proper people to score, and their defense is all right. I think they can reasonably get second in the group, but I don't think Austria are going to qualify for the knockouts. And so it doesn't really matter if I put them fourth or third, but I'll put them third for now. I think that's what most people are predicting, but I don't think they're going to make it to the knockouts, basically. So let's move on to Group K, where I think Portugal is going to top it. And I don't know why I tried to drag it there, but whatever. Ronaldo, when he starts, he drags the team down, let's be honest. He is a baller, don't get me wrong. He scores hella goals, but he can be a little self-centered sometimes, and that kind of brings down the overall quality of the football that Portugal is playing. They have some really good ballers that are not Ronaldo, like João Neves, and there's some really good players on the squad that are not Ronaldo, and I just want to mention that. So even with that consideration, I think they're still going to top the group. Although I don't think they're going to get 9 points. I think there's at least one draw looking them in the face. The more I'm talking about this, the more it seems like I'm trying to convince myself that they're not going to top the group. I'll reset it, whatever. I think I'm gonna put Colombia on top, but that's more for the goal difference than anything else. I just think they're not getting 9 points, right? It could be 6. I think Colombia could also get 6, and then win against Portugal on goal difference. I don't know if I'm talking out of my ass. I might very well be. Oh goodness, this is another one of those groups where it's really not straightforward at all. Let's just get Group L. All right. Oops, not quite yet. But that one's straightforward. I think I've talked about it before. I think, England and Croatia would probably draw, but then England beats Croatia on goal difference, and Croatia beats Ghana and Panama, as well as does England, but I think England beats Croatia on goal difference. But I still have to come back to this, so give me a sec. That's wrong for sure. I think I predicted as much. I think DR Congo has the edge over Uzbekistan, but which is unfortunate because this is the first time in history, I think, that Central Asian countries have been at the World Cup. But this is a tough group. What can you say? You know what? No, I'm gonna put Portugal to top the group. All right. Let's move to the third place teams that are going to qualify for the knockout rounds. France, absolutely. Scotland, absolutely. Cape Verde, absolutely. Ghana, absolutely. Ecuador, 100%. Are they? Ooh, I don't know. I need to look at... DR Congo, 100%. Poland, yes. How many we got? We got 2 more. Hold on. Ecuador. Ooh, I'm actually gonna predict them to not make the knockouts. So I guess that would be 2 more European sides. Ooh. I don't know, dude. This is harder than I thought. I'm struggling. I don't think Austria is going to make it anyway, so I'm gonna discount them. Now I have put Ghana, by the way, because I think that Ghana will score well enough against Panama to not just get a draw. I think they're going to win that match. So I'm picking between two of these 3, and Egypt. Do I want Egypt to be grouped? Do I want Mo Salah and Omar Marmoush to be grouped? I don't know, dude. Hold on. What? Let's see Egypt again. Oh, I can absolutely see this group being 4 points all across. Like each team wins one match and then draws one match and then loses one match. That's probably not going to be what happens in reality, but it could happen. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen in football before, and we've seen that exact scenario happen in football before. Oh, if it is 4 points, then I think Egypt does make it, actually. Alright, so we have to pick one of these. Oh, God. Oh, God. Alright, so which playoff teams are they? Oh, these are all of the playoff teams, actually. I've put all of them in third place, it seems. Oh, this is difficult. Oh, Qatar. This is nothing to do with Qatar, but I'm just thinking the European playoff team will probably have 3 points against Qatar. Oh, Group A I could see being just draws and draws and draws. And then Group D, I think I'm going to go with the Group B one, which would be Italy/Wales, and that's insane. Because in the other two, there are no, free matches. There are no matches where they are expected to win, essentially. So, it hurts, but I think I'm going to go with that. So France, Egypt, Scotland, Cape Verde, Ghana, Italy/Wales, probably Poland, and probably DR Congo. So let's get to the knockouts. Alright. Germany, Scotland. Oh, God. We're already starting with a banger. Oh, ay. This will be the first time Scotland gets to the knockouts, I think. Ooh. I'm struggling. I might not pick that yet. Pathway B? I can't remember. Wait, is that Italy/Wales? If it's Italy, that would be so hilarious because Norway will smack them again. Absolutely. Whoever it is, they're going to get smacked anyway, but there you go. Germany versus Scotland. Oh, God. Oh. See, this is so difficult because Scotland is a team that punches above their weight, and Germany is a side that can have real stinkers, like 2-0 losing to Slovakia. Oh God. And I really don't want to see Scotland just lose at the round of 32, but I might have to. Oh, ay. Okay, South Africa versus Canada. I believe I saw somewhere that's wrong. I think all the host nations still play in the host countries at this point in time. So, let's just say this is Canada versus South Africa. No, I think Canada takes it. South Africa are good, but they lack the goal scoring power, I think, and Canada are, they are higher than South Africa in the FIFA rankings, and there is a reason for that. I think they do generally play better. They frequently, well, not frequently actually, they are pretty good in the Gold Cup, and I would say they are probably better than South Africa, but this is not going to be like a wipeout or anything like that. It's gonna be like 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that. Japan, Brazil. Oh, if you know ball, then that's a legendary matchup. Ooh, you know what? Let's go for some chaos. Japan takes it. Colombia versus Croatia. This is where I admit that I do not know enough about South American football. Colombia, no, I think Croatia takes it. Colombia are good, but I think Croatia are just better. Spain, Algeria, it's gonna be Nigeria, Algeria all over again. Paraguay and Pathway A. That's either Denmark or Ireland. Ooh. Nah, Paraguay takes it. Iran, France. So many bangers, but I think France takes this one. Morocco, Netherlands. Oh, dude. Amsterdam, Rotterdam, whichever Dutch city you want to name, is going to be shut down if this match takes place. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry for saying that phrase a lot. I've been saying that phrase a lot lately, but oh my god, that is crazy. Do I go for it? I'm so tempted to go for Morocco to win against the Netherlands. See, this is a top African side which is less top than some people think, versus a top European side which some people think is not as top as they are seen to be. Yeah. You know what? I think this goes to penalties and Netherlands wins it. Just sheer chaos here. Alright, let's move on to Ivory Coast versus Senegal. Did that matchup happen at AFCON? I can't actually remember. I don't think it did. But I think Senegal takes it. They have the quality to break through the defenses of Ivory Coast. Then we move on to Mexico versus Cape Verde. Nah, Mexico takes it easy. It's a home game, and Cape Verde, they're pretty good in terms of like African football, but they're not that good on the World Cup scale, So I think Mexico is going to win. It might not be pretty, but I think they have what it takes to break through Cape Verde. Unfortunately, their road ends here. But hey, to not get grouped for their first ever World Cup, that's pretty good, right? Right, okay. England versus playoff 1, I think. Yeah, that's DR Congo, because the other playoff team didn't qualify. Yeah, England. Sorry. Argentina. Oh my god. The Rio Platense derby. Argentina takes this one. USA Belgium. I'm pretty sure that match is already happening. As in, that is one of the friendlies that the US will be playing. The USMNT will be playing. In the build up, in the run up to the World Cup, and the results of that match could tell us a lot about what to expect in this. But I actually think USA takes it. Switzerland versus Egypt. I think Switzerland takes it, but it's going to be pretty close because neither side are particularly goal scorers. Although I think Switzerland does have a bit more firepower, and they always make the round of 16. So yeah, Egypt. Their journey ends at the round of 32. Portugal versus Ghana. Easy Portugal. All right. Now let's move all the way back up. Germany, Norway. Oh, I was going to say, is that match already happening? No, it's not. Switzerland are playing Germany and Norway are playing Switzerland. But obviously, the results don't necessarily work that way. If Norway does beat Switzerland and Switzerland beats Germany, that doesn't mean that Norway would beat Germany. But I do think Norway beats Germany. In their current state, Germany are not a particularly inspiring force, and Norway are just bulldozing everyone right now, I think. Canada versus Japan. Oh. You know what? I'm going to go for some more chaos. Canada takes this. I'm going to say Japan has a stinker. I just kind of don't envision them getting as far as the quarterfinals, but I mean, I don't think Canada. Oh God, I don't know either. No, Japan takes it. Sorry. Croatia, Spain in the round of 16? Dude, that's crazy. Also, yeah, I did pick Norway. I do think Norway beats Japan right now. I might be a little bullish on that, but I do think that is the case. Sorry, I scrolled a little too far there. Croatia versus Spain. Nah, I think Spain takes it. Paraguay, France. Nah, France takes it. Paraguay are good, but they're not France good. Yeah, I think France takes it just based on sheer talent. Netherlands, Senegal. Ooh. I'm gonna say Senegal. Netherlands are not one of the top European sides. I've already mentioned that, that opinion 3-4 times at this point, but I do think Senegal has what it takes to get to at least the quarterfinals, where they'll be meeting England. I don't think Mexico has any chance at beating England whatsoever, even if it is a home match. Argentina, USA. Ooh. Argentina. Switzerland, Portugal. Yeah, they intentionally built the bracket so we could have Argentina versus Portugal. Do I go for it, or do I get contrarian and go Switzerland? Oh, I don't know, because on their day Switzerland are unstoppable. But I'm still gonna go Portugal. Alright. Let's go back up here. I already decided. Norway are beating Japan, which means Norway, for the first time, returning to the World Cup for the first time since 1998, and they make the freaking semifinals. Spain versus France. Oh. Ooh. Nah, Spain takes it. I think France just lacks a little bit of direction in terms of coaching and stuff from Deschamps. And Spain are just all around unstoppable, I think, almost. Senegal, England. Oh. I did read that England does not do well in North America. But also, I do not see Senegal beating England. I can see this one going to penalties, or at the very least, extra time, 120 minutes. Ooh. I could also see, someone like Pop Gay scoring an absolute screamer against England. Whatever happens, I do not think there will be more than 2 goals scored in regular play over the course of this match. It might end 1-1 and then go to penalties. It might end 1-0 to either side. Ooh, I'm still gonna go England, honestly. Even if it is penalties, I think England beats Senegal on that front. Argentina, Portugal. Oh. Ooh. I'm sorry if I'm breathing into the microphone a lot and it's kind of annoying the feed or whatever. But there are a lot of difficult decisions to be made here. And, did Argentina even top their group in World Cup qualifying? I don't even know. I might have to check. If you heard something, I've just got my phone out. Hold on, just give me a second. I am looking stuff up. CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers, and let's see. All right, so they did win qualifiers actually, but were not like they did not completely bulldoze their way through. They have lost matches. They have lost matches to the likes of Ecuador. They have lost to I think Uruguay. Hold on, I need to check. I'm still going through it. Wait, no, they beat Uruguay 1-0. And some of their scorelines have not been pretty. Paraguay beat them 2-1 actually. Although that was in 2024. They are beatable, but Portugal is as well. Ooh. No, I think Argentina takes it. That took way too long. Right. Norway versus Spain. Oh. Nah, Spain takes it. I'm sorry. I love Norway. I love Holland. Love Strand Larsen, Antonio Nusa, etc. I think their defense is just not solid enough to withstand the attacks from Lamine Yamal, etc. England, Argentina. Argentina takes it. England are not great at scoring goals, I think, and they've got Argentina's got Lionel Messi. Spain versus Argentina. Oh, what a match that would be! And Spain takes it. So yeah, me like several others have predicted that the FIFA World Cup 2026 will be won by Spain. We can come back in 4 months and see how accurate that is. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. This is World Cup predictions from someone with about maximum 2 months of ball knowledge. And we'll see how far Norway actually get. Will they be able to get to the quarterfinals or the semifinals? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you disagreed with. I'm also recording this at nearly 4 a.m., so I am a little bit delirious, which may explain some of my decisions, like, Japan beating Brazil, for example, but, it is what it is. Yeah, so that is going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your predictions in the comments below if you play this as well. Like I said, I'm going to link this in the description. Hope you enjoyed. Like this video if you did. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my upcoming content, like more World Cup content, for example, and maybe some Eurovision content, depends on my mood, and I'll see you next time.